So dash up giant swing. Let's see, where's that? There are a few guidelines. First of all, you can buffer this motion and store it for a very short amount of time. Shorter than some other throws you can store, and other motions you can store. So you store this, and then while you're storing it, you dash up. However, the game doesn't seem to let you have the giant swing if you're in a dashing state. So to bypass this, you just you could do a lot of, I guess, different motions, but I guess you could do, the most intuitive would be to cancel it with back. So giant swing, dash up, and then cancel the dashing state with back, and then you're hitting forward punch to get the giant swing. So it's a little difficult, because you can't store the giant swing motion for too long. But if you do it smoothly enough, it should look more like that. Yeah, like that. Depends on how well you can sell the back to forward part. And also you can hide the giant swing motion within the recovery of things. But keep in mind you cannot store the input for too long, because the game's just not gonna let you. It's not gonna let you store the input for that long. As opposed to like things like rodeo, you could store rodeo, like Eddie rodeo, for a really long time, especially in comparison. Yeah, giant swing's input storage is really small for some reason, but it's definitely there. It is there enough for you to dash up into it, you know. Oops. Yeah, like that. That looked the smoothest out of all my attempts. It's pretty difficult, actually, to do it well. You think I'm some sort of weirdo? I definitely have a square gate, not a weird K-stick circle gate. I don't understand. Yeah, rodeo, Eddie's rodeo is very similar in the sense that the game's not going to let you dash up and do it, because the game's just not going to let you do it in a dashing state. So you have to cancel that dashing state somehow, normally by hitting back. Yeah, octagonal users, the weirdest people. Like I think Carter is one of them, right? Hanzo? You can cancel the dashing state with another forward if you're that close, but that's kind of unreliable. So it looks like that, yeah. But it's a little unreliable. That's all I got. Tekken World Tour Online is this Saturday for half the regions, I believe. Half the regions. The second half will be next Saturday. which includes Southeast Asia, East Asia, some others, I think.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7.
Is there anything else you guys want to learn about other characters? I dabble in this game in general. I've been messing around with Lee's new back 3-3. The down 3 Hitman, it seems like about a 2-frame window. Like it's not a just frame for sure, but it's not generous enough for me to say it's like 3 frames either.
Chaolan. Noctis Lucis Kylum. Get ready for the next battle.
Oops. Yeah, it's definitely missable. Yeah, it seems like 2 frames. Like 3 is too generous, but it's not a just frame for me to get it like this consistently. Yeah, it's not really a big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal as in terms of like it's too difficult or anything. It's definitely a big deal because it's a nice buff, for sure. Down 3's never done this much damage too. Look at those explosions on counter hit. Is it any range too? That's good. My bad. I'm aware that you can do back 2 instead of the jab, but the jab is for reliability. Especially when like, I feel like this back 2 is like slightly more difficult if it's too close, especially against like Xiaoyu, from my experience. And you're only giving up 1 point. Oops. 1 point. Oops. Yeah, see what kind of 5. Okay, so that's 5, right? Oops. Four. You're getting a warning. Wall breaks in midair. Oops, what the hell? How am I supposed to set this up? It's weird. Oh, I see. I see. That's weird. So the change to Acid Rain is that it knocks down differently, and it doesn't knock down in a way that you gotta juggle unless you're off axis, like over on this side or something. Yeah, or something weird like that. But facing them, you're like, you get a blazing kick. Damn it. Damn it. I was on a streak too. Yeah. That's a lot of damage for a 10. That's funny. Damn it. So was that 28 plus 19? 47? That's like ridiculous. Yeah, execution barrier. They said the same thing about Bryant. But everything can be learned, right? This is only 2 just frames. Taunt Jet Upper's like 3 just frames. What's the difference, you know? Damn it. It's really unfortunate that this is like way off axis and it messes up the combo. Like that, for example. Do I have a Brian wall bounce combo? Like I've said many times, it's very important to learn combo theory and combo logic and how to ad-lib combos. Wall bounce is another extension of that. Sometimes you are a little further away than you were the other time you landed it. Execution barrier is only a factor if it's like incredibly high. Incredibly high. You can do that from here? Is that right? Is that right? That doesn't seem right. Backpack 4 on block. It's kind of irrelevant to me. I'm pretty much always going to go to Hitman. Because of the recovery on... makes the recovery on whiff better. In terms of like distance. This is a weird change too. Hitman 1 and then 4. 1, 1, 1, 4. How do you deal with Leo? She's dealt with herself. Cause back 1-4 is not an issue anymore. The pickup, the new pickup, the new changes to back 3 only really affect down 3 on counter hit and upward 3-4. Every other move is kind of irrelevant. Like back 4, it's okay, I guess. That's not so bad. It's namely down 3 and upward 3-4, because upward 3-4 is attached to slide. If it's attached to slide, then that's actually pretty good. If you think about it. Oops. Come on. Come on. I don't know why I was always so bad at mistrap. I think it's the same 28 frames as taunt. Oh, also I feel like the game wants me to hit the button after it makes contact, not the frame it hits contact, and that throws me off too. So I have to like delay myself. Yeah. I wish Mistrap was better. That's a really cool concept. I remember thinking it was a really cool concept when I was like a child, basically. Back in Tag 1. Forward 3 range increase is a very good idea, because before I was like, this is a great change to this move when Tekken 7 came out. You know, making this move actually useful to begin with. I already thought it had good range before, and increasing the range is an even better idea. It's good. You always had trouble kind of whiff punishing with like around this distance, aside from like Triple Fang, but Triple Fang is like a really high, and not even that far, like not as far as you'd think it'd go. 4-3 is really good. Maybe around here? Close. Yeah, close. I wish that combo was more consistent. In terms of like, I don't have to like delay it a little bit or something. That's kind of silly, I think. While saying 2-3 being -13 is a very good change as well. He had a lot of good changes. I think he might have been the third best thought out changed character. Because there's a lot of characters you guys can kind of tell they had no idea what they were doing with, or they didn't know what direction they wanted to go in. But with like Kazuya, Heihachi, really well thought out. Good job, Mr. Master. Oh, I believe that this unblock was like horrible, right? But they changed it to be consistent with regular Silvertail, because regular Silvertail is -14. But when you went to Hitman, all of a sudden it was like really bad unblock. So it was probably just changed to be consistent with that. That's all. Bronson is planning to come chill at Steven's place as well. So he'll definitely be in the back, heckling either me or my opponent or something, just chilling with the chat. He'll be there. I believe that's his plan. His plan is to be there. Is delaying the forward 2 the important part, or is it delaying the 1 part of it? I'm not really sure. The 1 part? Is that right? That's not what I was doing before. I think if anything I was delaying the forward 2. Yeah, I was delaying the forward 2. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. It was the last misstep, you're right. Your warning has been taken away. Yeah, your warning has been taken away. That's right. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about how I did this before. Oops. No. Man, I really like Lee in this game. Like, really like him. I haven't gotten around to trying out Anna yet. I tried Lei for a little bit. He's the same. Anna's kind of interesting, but still got the same issues. Nothing new. Yeah, nothing too new. It's kind of unfortunate about Lei. He kind of is pretty much the exact same as he was before. Nothing really new to mess around with. It's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, she just has a lot of small issues, just like everywhere. Small issues everywhere. What I think of Season 2 Leo, she might be the most nerfed character in Season 2. She might be the most nerfed. Just because they changed back 1-4. If you think about it, people could base entire games on that one move. So if you take it away, then that's kind of harsh, right? That's pretty harsh. To take away a move that you can base your entire game around, I can't say that about any other change in this game. I can't say that about any other change in the season. Game changer. It was a game changer. The compensation buffs are not enough to compensate for that nerf. No way. There's no way. You're getting a warning. Shaheen Season 2, he's alright. He's still really good. For sure. You never really liked back 1-4 anyway? Cause why? Cause you thought it was too easy to win with? Yeah, that's right. You based your entire game around that one move. How can you base your entire game around that one move and then have it taken away? Yeah, Shaheen got some decent like compensation buffs for the nerfs. Cause 1 Super 4 was like 1 Super 4 was not good. 2-3 is a much better 1-2, or a much better 10, I should say. You realize when back 1-4 is being aimed at, that's because they think it's a very important, crucial part of the game. And then you start doing back ones alone. And it just starts becoming dumber and dumber. And then they're waiting for it. They're sitting there waiting for it because that's the entire game. As they sit there and wait for it, you play 50-50s. The big picture is what's important. But I'm not gonna.
To the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7.
Maybe you could be bad. It's possible.
Martial Law. Brian Fury.
Elisa Season 2? It's really unfortunate because
Ready for the next
she was one of the characters I was kind of referring to earlier when I said they kind of didn't know what direction they wanted to go in with the changes, so they kind of just did things here and there. That's the impression I got looking at her changes. How do you deal with getting Gigas high unblockable or mid now? Well, it's 50-50, right? I mean, it's basically he's playing the same 50-50 on punch parry characters that he was already playing on non-punch parry characters. And even against a punch parry character, it's still there's still merit in punch parrying because there's the mid. Because the mid is safe. Reversal 50-50. At least I can't reversal the mid, right? Isn't Elisa's reversal only highs? Or is that an old thing? Yeah. So only high. But there's a mid. What the fuck? You can reversal any high, sure. But not the mid. And there's a mid. I like Law's changes a lot. I think they all made sense. Legend Kick buffs are really good. First of all, Legend Kick being more plus makes a lot of sense. I was really surprised the first time I heard it was +4 at worst. +4? At worst? That's crazy. For how heavy this looks? On top of that, making it hit lower is perfect because its combo before was just too difficult for no reason. There's less purpose in parrying the high because you can potentially duck and launch it. If anything, you want an answer to the mid. That's a lot of damage for boss staying 4. Is it just me, or is 79 a lot of damage for while staying 4 on counter hit? Yeah. Yeah. Stand, guard all. This, whoops. I mean, that's not a combo, right? No matter how well I do this, it's not a combo. But I'm showing you that it's being blocked. But this is a combo on counter hit, that's for sure. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, man. So, I don't know if you noticed, but while staying 4 is being counter hit. Counter hit while staying 4. The DSS 3 plus 4 is a combo. Not on normal hit. On normal hit, while staying 3 into 3 plus 4 is a combo. Whoops, if I can do it. That's a combo on normal hit. So let's say you get put in a face down situation and then they whip something over you. They whip something over you and they're in a standing state. You just get up and do that as a punish. It's a grip. Whoops. So let's say you're in a face down position, Oki situation. Try to play their Oki, they whip something over you. You know they're in a standing state, and you know their recovery is bad. You can get up with that. For 79. For a nice 79, goddamn. Yeah, nothing's a combo on while standing for a normal hit. The game's just not gonna let you. So they at least thought that much out. That's good. Yeah, that's a landmine question for sure. But essentially, when you do while standing for, you commit to the DSS. That's for sure. What you do after the DSS, that's when it gets arguable. You can't while standing for and then counter confirm into DSS. You commit to the DSS itself, but what you do afterwards depends on the person, I guess. Both in preference and in reaction speed. Damn it. There's no way to hit confirm while standing for and then DSS or not. You're definitely doing DSS. But what you do afterwards can depend on your reaction speed, your preference. You can just always do this, and then it becomes a mix-up anyway if they want to punish it. Unless there are certain characters like Paul or something, right? So by the time you do this part, you can kind of tell if it's a counter hit, and then hit 4. Like, by the time you commit to this far of it, this far in, you kind of look at all the context clues, decide it's a counter hit, and then hit the 4. And then if you're really quick, you do DSS, and then assess the situation from there. Like if it's blocked, you can cancel the lat, for example, and still play mix-ups. Yeah. Thank you for the congrats. Does any other character have an award like that off counter of all thing 4? Hell no. You know what's funny? The only other character would be Law himself if he commits to the flip kick. While saying 4 flip kick. But other than that, there's no one even comes close, right? No one even comes close. Isn't that crazy? Like, I'm definitely all about like comparison within the cast, because I think, you know, like character strength is dependent on how strong everyone else is and in what areas and whatnot. Like, for example, a character with a 50% combo is not strong in a game where everyone has 70% combos, right? But if you put this 50% combo character in a game where everyone does 30%, all of a sudden his combos are top tier. It stands to reason, right? Like you put Flaw's while staying 4 in a game where nobody's while staying 4 does nearly as much damage. That's crazy, right? Is that not crazy? And you know what's also crazy? This while staying 4 comes from crouch, right? And we can't say Law is no threat crouching either. And then you think about like how does he get into crouch? And then you see all these Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer. Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer. Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer, slide. It's because you're thinking really hard about while staying 4. Sometimes I'm just ducking it and do while staying 4 and it's a great idea. It's crazy. Crazy character.